start the show. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
If this makes you dizzy, it's not the dancing, it's the altitude.
Wiener Circle?
The Morning Stream. You're a freak and a cannibal, and you've come to the wrong town.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the Morning Stream for February 29th, 2024. An unusual day for most years. So happy Leap Baby Day, everybody.
An unusual day that doesn't appear in most years. And I don't even know, like, with the chances that it can appear on a day that we don't do a show, I wonder how many actual Leap Day episodes we've ever done.
Oh, yeah. Probably very few, right? Well,
yeah, it's not something I want to take a whole bunch of time to look for.
No,
But,
we're not going to do the math on it. Although I did do some funny math at the dentist and forgot to tell you about it. This is quick. I'm glad you brought this up.
I like funny math. Yeah.
But I said to the doctor after he finished, he goes, all right, we're all just about done. And I had all the stuff out of my mouth at that point. And I said, hey, I got a quick question. It might be kind of silly. He says, what is it? I said, how many cavities have you filled? How many crowns have you done? How many? I was like, I'm just like, over all this 22-year, whatever it is, career that you've had so far, how much of all that stuff do you think you've done? And I figured he had to just guess. And he goes, ooh, that's a good question. Let me get back to you. And then he leaves. Then when I go outside to like pay and get all done and whatever, this guy behind the counter goes, hey, Jeremy tells me you want to know these numbers. And I went, numbers? Oh, you mean like your how many crowns and stuff? He says, yeah, I got it. I found it. I crunched the numbers. I'm like, really?
Oh my gosh. Wow,
I go, you have this data? And he's like, yeah, our systems are retroactive. So everything he's ever done is all up to current. And anyway, it was crazy how close to TMS numbers his total number of crowns he's given out between 2011 and now. It was almost exactly like 2,600.
Yeah, really? Wow, so really close to our numbers. That's hilarious.
And they each take about an hour and a half, which is about how long a TMS takes. And it's just like this. It was this weird parallel. But anyway, I can't remember the exact numbers because he just said them out loud and I didn't write them down. But it was like 10,000 fillings or something.
Wow.
It was crazy numbers, dude.
That
was
is crazy.
And that was just him, not his partners, not his brother who joined him later. None of that stuff. It was just him doing shit.
There's got to be some way he could turn this into a Molarcast or something. Thanks for joining us on the Molarcast. First, I want to give a shout out to our new patrons.
That's right. And I guess that means he's solved the whole 10,000 hour thing, like the Beatles. The Beatles performed enough in crappy clubs in Germany that they were bound for success because of the gist of how much they worked or whatever. It's like that. Mm-hmm. So he's now the dentist of all dentists. There has never been a dentite like him. Let's all be dental like him, I guess. I don't know.
Nice. Okay, very good. By the way, so 2012 and 2016 both had February 29th that fell on a day that we would be doing TMS. I don't know if we did episodes of those days, but there was 2020.
Here, let's see if I can
TMS
find.
fell on a Saturday, so we didn't do.
We didn't do that. TMS. Yeah, I bet I have file dates though.
So if you could look at 2012 and 2016, that would be the only time.
Give me the 2012 date. What was the year?
February 29th, 2012.
Oh yeah. The only distinguishing number is the year. Shit, Scott. Okay, 2012. 2012. Hold on, I'm gonna find this.
Ooh, what year did Leap Day fall on in 2016?
Yeah, I wonder. Weird. Okay, February 29th. We did it.
Yeah. So we did an episode in 2012 or 2016. That was 2012?
2012. Here's how that one started.
I was watching the Dumont last night. All right, here we go.
You start the wax cylinder.
That's us. That's how we started.
Okay.
And then
it was like barely a year into our little show here.
Yeah, we hadn't done any intro stuff yet. That's kind of a recent thing. What was the other one? 2016?
2016 would have been the other one.
All right, let's just see. I like this little game. 2016, February.
Ooh, the question is, had we started doing the titles in 2016? I think we had, yeah?
All right, your bet is yes. I'm going to say probably, but I don't know for sure. I'll take the opposite for a fun bet.
Okay,
So
all right.
Here we go. This is episode 994. We did do one that day. Here it is.
Coming up on TMS.
Oh!
Hooray for Furrywood.
Brian's right.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Yeah, so we have done an episode. Does that mean we've done every possible 29th?
Day of the year, easily. We have to have.
Right.
Done, I doubt we could find in the 366 days of a full calendar.
Yeah.
That there is a day that we have not done a TMS on in one of the years that we've been doing TMS.
Yeah, I gotta think we have, but I think we've done every leap day ever, since the show started, right? Obviously.
No, because 2020 we didn't. That was a Saturday.
we didn't do one on 2020. Oh, right, because you said yeah. Okay, well that's a shame that we missed that. Because then we could have had a perfect record. Actually, hold on. Let's see what we did close to that. 2020. That was a weird year.
That was a very weird year.
Very weird year. I didn't like it.
It was a very weird year.
Didn't like that year at all. Closest we have
started right after.
We got the February 27th episodes. Closest we have.
This episode is brought to you by BlueChew.com.
And that's when we had boner pills. So
we had boner pills. Yeah, still haven't received mine. Still waiting.
No, Brian's still waiting for his boner pills. Yeah. I mean, poor guy. 4 years, no boner? Come on now.
4 years, no boner.
It's terrible. Right. Awful.
4 years, no boner. Sleepy Joe. Not able to get an erection.
I have a question about that, but maybe this is the wrong show for it.
It's an erection year, folks.
It's an erection year. Don't forget to participate in your local erection.
That's right.
I forget whatever it was. Probably not worth it.
Something Trump.
I know what it was going to be. This is not a political question. It's honest, just an honest question.
Yes, I'm glad Mitch is stepping down. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
He said something. I will have a retirement party. I will
have more time.
I will leave in November. Anyway, he says he can't pay. This is, again, not a political thing. Everyone calm yourselves down. Yeah, I just have a question about this. He says he can't pay the $400 and whatever $million summary judgment thing or whatever it is. That's not summary judgment. Whatever it is against him. Because he says he's too rich, so he only can do $100 million of it because he's too rich to pay the rest of it. And I'm trying to understand what is the legal, because he's actually having lawyers claim this. Yeah. I'm trying to understand it. And honestly, I'm
too rich to pay this. Oh, that's fantastic.
That seems like a strange thing to say. If you have the money, then you have the money, and it's a legal it's a legal thing you pay because you have to now, because that's the judgment. You can appeal it, but the appeal can't be I have too much money to pay that. That doesn't make any sense.
Right. Is it a tax? Is it tax related? I mean, still, it doesn't make any sense, right? Leave it to, if there's anybody who can make the attempt to convince people, and he will convince people, don't get me wrong, that he can't pay something because he's too rich. It's gonna be a DJ TJ. Or I'm sorry, not DJ T. That's his son.
Right.
DJ T.
I like the quiet, tall one.
Donald Jennifer Trump.
I like to think the tall, quiet one is just going to avoid politics and avoid the spotlight and doesn't care about
Eric?
any of this. No, the other one, the young one.
Barron.
Barron doesn't say anything. Yeah. I mean, he's young. Was he 18 now or something? He seemed like never to say anything, just always sheepishly in the back. If I had one wish for that,
smart.
Yeah.
If he's smart, that is exactly what he does.
Yeah. If I had a wish for that kid, it would be just keep doing that. Just stay out of this shit.
He turns into King Joffrey in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's all tainted, and I don't care what political side or family you come from. This is not a life, man. It sucks. Why would you want to have any involvement in this? You either have to go full douchebag or not get elected. Like no one gets attention unless they're a psycho. So just stay out of it. I know you're like 12'5", so that's hard. You're really
I've not
tall.
seen pictures of Barron. Somehow Barron and Tiffany have just kind of quietly been tucked away like cousin Oliver.
I'll show you an image where you'll be like, oh my gosh, he's gigantic, this kid. And this is not even a new photo.
No, that's LeBron James, Scott.
He's a black man, and Trump has some explaining to do. Okay, there it is, right there.
Let's see. Oh wow, no kidding.
So he's a huge
kid. Is he really that is he that much closer? I mean, is he that tall compared to Donald, or is he just way closer to the camera? Jeez Louise,
based on other photos I found, he is that tall compared to them.
He kind of he kind of Neville Longbottomed, didn't he?
Oh,
over the
big
past
time.
couple of years.
Big time, stretched way out.
Like between movies 5 and 6 or whatever it was for Neville Longbottom.
I hope he has the look of a kid who might be okay if he can just stay out of it.
So. Yeah.
You know, and I wish this for every prominent kid in any family where they did not choose this life. All right? I wish it on all of you.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah, people are saying 6 foot 7 inches is what they're saying. Jeez.
Yeah, he's an enormous human being.
Yeah.
We got Amanda sent us a text. You want me to read this text here that Amanda sent us? Because why not?
Well, yes. I'd love to hear that. Yeah.
Amanda says, "Good morning, Morning Stream. I just found out that we are doing We Are the World 25 Haiti for our spring concert in my community chorus. Pretty cool. I didn't know this was a thing.
I didn't know it either. We Are the World 25 Haiti?
Yeah. People go around and do We Are the World versions of the thing, but do it for other charities and stuff. I don't know.
That's cool.
Says the director did cut out the rap part, though. LOL. Just thought that was cool and timely. Have a great Wednesday, Amanda. Amanda, I hope that Ray from Ghostbusters shows up for no reason.
That's right. Exactly.
Why can't I think of his name all of a sudden? What's wrong with me?
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd! Jeez.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
So they
also,
do.
I guess I didn't know about the rap part, that they must have been adding that to more recent versions of the song. I got burned by Do They Know It's Christmas 20 or 10 or whatever it was, like the 10th anniversary or the 20th anniversary or whatever, and I'm staying away from.
So what? I didn't even know that was a thing. Is that like a modern?
Yeah, they're doing what Band-Aid 20, I guess is what it was called. It was 2001, 2002, whatever it would have been, 20 years after the first Band-Aid. Do They Know It's Christmas?
It's just not good, or just bad.
Just bad, just lifeless. And while it felt like Simon Le Bon and Paul Young and all these guys in the first one really were invested and really like dedicated to the thing, it just feels like, all right, now we've got 2 of the Take That boys coming in and singing, and we've got, we can only afford 3 members of S Club 7, so we've got the 2 of them.
What was the name of what was the first group you just said? What was it? The boy.
Take That. Take That.
Is that a real group?
Yeah, it's a real group. It's the band that Robbie Williams came from. Oh my God. Before he took too many drugs and got kicked out.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Take That.
Wow, I didn't know that was a band. I've never even heard that before. That's funny.
Yeah, there's what was their big hit? Now you're making me look something up, Scott. Their big song. Let's see if I can beat our Brits in the audience. Back for Good was probably their big song.
What does that sound like? What's the deal?
That's a really good question. I can just remember the chorus is like na 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 na. Nope, no, that's Martika, Tin Soldiers. It's like whatever I
see your smiling face
coming back for good, like Tin Soldiers. Still nope. All right, sorry. It goes right into Martika.
Wow.
Right into Martika.
Okay, all right. Robbie Williams.
I can't not Martika this business.
Robbie Williams came back in 2010 to 2011. It only lasted a year.
Yeah.
They heard about TMS and thought, you know what, we can do this too. We're doing this.
That's right. Exactly.
And then 2014 to 2015, they got rid of him again. So
yeah, it's like a little tuned in, or a little reunion business, right? Where
yeah, good stuff. All right, we're gonna add someone to the call. You guys aren't expecting this.
Toy Soldiers, not Tin Soldiers.
Toy Soldiers.
I'm getting that confused with One Tin Soldier Rides Away.
Also, isn't that a movie? Toy Soldiers.
It was a movie, and that song was used as the closing song of the movie. You know what? Okay, yeah. So there was the One Tin Soldier.
Yeah.
There was do, but then there was also a Toy Soldiers movie as well.
Oh,
so
okay.
There were movies of both.
All right. And there's always going to be that because there's no copyright on names. There's no trademark on names for movies. Thank goodness.
Exactly.
That's why you get 5 crashes or whatever it is, right?
Exactly. Yep. You can name your movie. You can name your movie 5 Easy Pieces and not have a problem.
Nope. 27 Dresses, totally different movie. It's all about zombies or whatever. Doesn't have there's not a Heigl to be seen. All right. I'm going to add to the call a longtime friend of the program and of myself, and also one of my favorite. He represents one of my favorite things I've ever implemented in my entire technological life, which we'll get to in a second. Welcome to the program, one Michael Fay from 1Password. Hello, Michael.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Hey,
Good
man.
morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Look at you. You look all fancy and stuff on this camera.
kidding.
We're not used to this quality of a guest. It's amazing.
That's right.
We started doing little video snippets for the podcast this year, and so I gotta look good. I gotta look presentable.
Nice,
on the show.
Nice. And you host this for those wondering for the 1Password thing. That must be okay. I'm just gonna throw this out because it seems challenging to me to be the voice. Basically, you're having to be the voice of a company whose goal is to give everybody great password management, a way to do two-factor in a very easy way, all this cool stuff. And by the way, this is not a sponsorship or a paid anything on the show. This is just this is a thing I love and use constantly. But how do you make a podcast around it? Like, I've been doing this for a long time. That seems hard.
Yeah. So my friend Matt, who also works at 1Password, and our friend Anna, Matt was like, "Do you want to start a podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like fun. Like, why not? We'll do that."
Sure.
And so it's really just an excuse for us to hang out a little while.
Yeah.
We do headlines, so we have like our pre-show banter, like you guys do, and then
Sure.
we do headlines and cover what's latest in the news. We do guest interviews, so I tend to do most of the guest interviews, and those are super fun. We bring in security experts. I interviewed a penetration tester the other day, someone who just like tries to get into buildings and stuff for money.
Ooh, that's cool.
Like,
wait, so people hire him to try to break your system,
Yes.
break the system? That's cool.
Yeah, and not like digitally, like literally like, "Hi, I'm here to deliver a pizza" kind of thing, and then see if they can get access to certain offices and stuff like that. It's so fun. The interviews are so good.
Like every heist movie we've ever watched.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like we
Yes.
just saw this in like Inside
Yes.
Man or something. This is like it reminds me of something.
It like that stuff. It is exactly that. I have interviewed people where I'm like, "So this sounds like a movie," and they're like, "Yep, that's pretty much it."
Do those people always start out as kind of real hacker break-in types, and then they have a change in their life or whatever, and then they get hired for this stuff? Is that kind of how it works?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and in fact, the person that I did just interview, he was arrested by the FBI, and they were very much like, "Okay, so why don't you come work for us for a while?"
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's neat.
That
It's
makes
neat.
sense, though, right? Because those guys are going to be your best experts if you can give them the deal that gives them enough reformation so that they're not, prison rats for the rest of their lives or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
You give them a reason to do this stuff for good and not evil anymore. It makes sense to me, but it's always so wild to think that that's a thing.
And it's white. It's still considered white hat when it's trying to get into a building kind of thing, right?
Right.
Yes, if you have been hired,
If you're being
by that
hired to
company.
do it.
Yeah. If the
You can't just say I'm a white hat hacker and get out of things, Ryan. That's not how it works.
Darn it!
Oh, that's a shame.
White hat.
Well, here's the good news. As a listener of the show here of TMS, you've heard us do quizzes and stuff on here before.
Yep.
And you pinged me and said, "Hey, I got this quiz. I kind of want to throw at you guys. What do you think?" So we arranged this, and I figured, why not? It's a Thursday. It's our last show of a standard week. Let's go ahead and throw it in. So I don't know how ready I am, but let's do it. Let's see how we do.
I mean,
Against
you are not as ready as you possibly could be because one of you is in the document that I shared, but the other is not. So,
I'm in.
Oh, it's one of these deals, is it? I don't know.
I mean, listen. You can go pure audio, but I thought that a visual aid might be helpful.
Sure.
Because they are multiple choice. So the way that we end every 1Password podcast, which is called Random But Memorable, which is how you're supposed to have your passwords, random but memorable.
Yeah.
Is we do a quiz. We play a game, and we're always coming up with different games. And the game this season is called Security Blank. So Security Blank, the rules are very simple. I will read out some recent security news headlines with one or multiple words blanked out, and Brian and Scott We'll have to guess which words are missing from the headlines. There are 5 questions. Each correct answer is worth 1 point. I was going to try and come up with some like more fancy scoring system like Feud, but didn't. So we get 1 point per right answer.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty clear we don't really care about the scoring thing is usually the worst part of all of our game shows on this thing.
Yeah.
Usually the most contentious. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it comes up a lot. But
I will do my best to let everyone keep everyone up to date on what the scores are. As someone who frequently listens to the show and goes, wait, but hold on, I got to do the math and I can't figure out who's winning right now.
Oh, this
really
is
hard
good.
for people to drive when they're holding up fingers trying to remember how many points Brian and Scott each have.
Exactly.
It's very dangerous. We gotta until self-driving cars are ubiquitous, we gotta fix that problem. That's a problem.
Brian, can I trouble you to keep score at the top of this document so I don't have to
look at that. I totally do I have access? I don't think I have access. Request edit access.
You should if you refresh. I gave you edit access before our show started.
So.
But
it's letting me type.
Which account? You probably did it for Coverville at Gmail,
I did it for
right?
Coverville. All right.
Yep, that's all right. Let me no, that's what I'm logged in as. There's a button at the top that says request edit access, and when I click it, nothing happens.
What happens when you refresh it? Does it change?
Oh, let me try. Let me see if that's
This is great radio.
It is
does
great radio.
indeed. I can type a score.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Okay,
Excellent.
Cool.
0. Yep.
There we go. All right, good. It's working.
All right. Excellent. Okay, first question. So this is from the Register, January of this year.
Yep.
We'll take that blank over a flashy data spilling internet one, thanks. Is it old-fashioned vacuum, plain dumb car, non-electric toothbrush, or we'll take that seriously ugly toaster over a flashy data spilling internet one? Thanks.
Oh my gosh.
I like this. It's too bad doorbell isn't on here because I feel like doorbell has come up. DTNS, I think, brought up doorbell recently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of these things do have their internet enabled, and
yeah, it could be any of them, right?
I'm gonna do the. Oh, do you want us to say?
Just go ahead and say. You
Just
could
go
say.
all right, I'm going to say non-electric toothbrush.
Oh, that was going to be mine too. I would choose the same. Can we do that, or we have to choose different ones?
Yeah, no, you can choose the same.
Okay.
We will either both be right or we'll both be wrong.
That's true.
Yep,
I'll go.
exactly.
I'm going with that toothbrush.
All right, so we had two of you locking in with toothbrush. In January of 2024, the Register ran an article titled "We'll Take That Plain Dumb Car Over a Flash Data Spilling One."
Darn it!
Oh, Scott, you brought the sound.
I
effects.
did. I brought you sound effects.
I was really hoping. All right.
They're always there. They're always ready. Always at the ready.
All right. In February, Wired ran an article that said ransomware payments hit a record blank in 2023. Is it 350 million, 1.1 billion, 25 million, or 1.25 trillion?
Oh my gosh, ransomware payments?
I've always been told go with the second highest number, so I'm going to say 1.1 billion. But it really worries me seeing that trillion number on there.
Yeah, the trillion can't be right. Can it? I'll go with the 350 million.
Okay. In February of 2024, Wired ran an article that said ransomware payments hit a record $1.1 billion.
Brian, nicely done. That's for me. Yeah.
It's always SATs. That's only how I passed my SATs, is by picking the third highest option. Whenever they give you a range of numbers, it's always the third the second highest.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, we're going to stick with Wired for the next the next couple here. So in 2024 as well, February, Wired ran an article that said blank are a privacy nightmare. Is it AI girlfriends, Ring doorbells? There's your doorbell.
There's the doorbells.
Viral TikTok videos or crowdfunding platforms?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, all those are all those seem to be possible privacy nightmares.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to my doorbells because it felt like a Kreskin moment for me. So if I don't lean on this and that turns out to be it, then I'm gonna be really disappointed in myself.
I'm gonna go with the weird one. Let's go with the AI girlfriends. Because that is a thing that's
somebody isolate Scott out saying that, please.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with some AI girlfriends, please. Thank you.
It turns out that AI girlfriends are indeed a privacy nightmare.
Nice
that
job,
was the
Scott.
title of that article.
Man. No, I have some very loose recollection of hearing something about the uptick in those. Not that they were such a nightmare, but that because there's this uptick, I have to think, given the emotional attachment part of this, that people are just saying too much shit and there's too much getting leaked out. I can't imagine that's good for anybody.
Oh, for sure. Has to be, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Plus, for real, I don't want to. I'm not someone who wants to label people or put swaths of judgment on anyone. But anybody at home with an AI girlfriend, I'm just saying, maybe go out and do some stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, humans need humans. All right, that's all.
Yeah. It's Eliza 2024.
That's right. All right, we're doing good.
Mine's more of a talking moose, but you do you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Also in February, boy, Wired did a lot of articles.
Apparently
in February.
did. Yeah.
Yes. I stopped using blank. It's great and a total mess. Is it passwords, toilet paper, the internet, or I stopped using ad blockers? It's great and a total mess.
Wow.
A great and a total mess.
Well, all right. This is process of elimination for me. Because I think that they would word it differently if they stopped using passwords. I think because what you guys do is basically have people not really trying to come up with their own flimsy passwords, but use your service, right? So I don't see somebody like writing an article saying I stopped using passwords if they were to go like for your service, for example. So I'm feeling like I'm ruling out passwords. And I as much as I'd love to see somebody say, yeah, I stopped using ad blockers and I'm loving all of the garbage I'm getting on my screen, I'm gonna go toilet paper on this one.
Oh,
Somebody's
man.
just raving about a bidet. And
you might be
that
right. That Wired, that's another good
total
connection.
washlet. I'm gonna say this is about a super high end Tokyo style toilet, and I'm hoping that that's the case.
Okay, I'm gonna guess that this is some Luddite who's like, I'm done with the internet. It's changed my life. It's a mess in there. It's great not having it. What a mess. I'm gonna say internet. C is my answer.
Okay. All right.
So Brian's got toilet paper. I've got the internet.
Okay, all right.
Let's pool our resources.
In February, Wired ran an article that said, I stopped using passwords.
Oh!
It's great and a total mess.
Well, what did they mean by that?
You gentlemen forgot about the rise of passkeys these days.
Shit.
Oh, right.
So this is an article about someone who's embracing passkeys.
Authenticators and stuff like that. Yeah, okay.
Stuff where like passkey is that protocol where I don't totally understand. Tom's tried to explain it to us before, but basically it's like just a non-password, right? It's like it's a encrypted thing that if you support it, it just works everywhere. I don't know how. I mean, whatever. One password will support it. That's all I need to know because
it does.
That's all I use.
We do.
So
we do.
It does. It does. We do.
Cool.
It does. We do. Yes.
Yeah. Excellent.
Perfect.
All right. Let's bring this one home, gentlemen. How are we doing on scores?
We are 1-1. So we.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This could decide it here. I said I was going to keep everyone up to date on the scores, and I totally.
That's all right. Oh yeah. That's the score is 1-1.
1-1. Everybody.
1-1. Everyone.
1-1.
All right. It's a full count.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's jump over to the New York Times from October of last year.
Yeah.
Rethinking security when so many threats are blank. Is it dressed up in clown costumes, hiding in plain sight, invisible, or like solving a murder mystery?
Well, I'm straight up saying A. Dressed up like a clown
I know,
costume.
exactly. It was my thought too. It's like, who would, when they're trying to come up with believable answers that aren't the right one, who would come up with dressed up in clown costumes?
Yeah, and the reason I like that is because I know they're being hyperbolic, but it kind of works. It's so much security threats these days are funny meme I clicked on, or this is a great account I follow and I didn't realize I was getting phished, or whatever. Like it feels like that would be a good metaphor, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to ask you this. Either way, if we both choose dressed up in clown costumes, we end up with a tie. Do you have a tiebreaker planned, or
I sure don't. No.
Okay, then
Nope.
then
Actually,
then
I
I'm
could get
gonna
one
take-
though.
Okay, I was gonna say because I could pick a different one just so that we don't end up in a tie unless we both still get it wrong. But,
Yeah.
Our
But if you have,
producer, Anna sent me some extra ones.
oh, okay. So if you've got it, you have a way to do it.
Tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, because my inkling was clown costumes as well, just because it is so far out there compared to the other three. The other three feel like what somebody would come up with that makes sense in that case.
Yeah. It's not, my mom would say D. She would say, well, it's kind of like solving a murder mystery, the security. I mean, that doesn't seem like something a normal person would say. Not that my mom's not normal, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, we both say A. That's what we'll say.
We're supposed
All
to.
right. Well, listen, the article is titled Rethinking Security When So Many Threats Are Invisible.
Oh!
Sorry, gentlemen. We are going to have to go into overtime. And I'm gonna take
Kudos
some
to
notes
whoever
away.
came up with the alternate answers, because that is a brilliant strategy to put something in there. It feels so wrong that it has to be right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, let's tiebreaker. Listen, if it's not this, you just tie. Okay, if it's not this one,
Yeah,
this
okay,
is, this
okay.
is the last question. Let's see here. Let's go from the Telegraph. The Telegraph in September of 2023. The majority of people are more worried about online fraud than, is it burglary, climate change, terminal illness, or day-old stale kale? Let's see if I can paste this in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Paste.
well, I'm not following the day old. I'm not going to fall into the clown costume day old stale kale trap.
Day old stale
I'm
kale.
going to say
That's fun to say.
health. What was the health one? It was.
Hang on. I'm pasting
yeah.
it in, Brian. Give
Okay.
me
Oh,
a
okay.
second.
Oh,
cool.
good. You're too kind. Because I can't remember the first one yet. Oh, there we go. Okay.
And I had to make sure I didn't. By the way,
Terminal
ignore the
illness.
number of
Online
spaces. It
fraud,
doesn't actually matter.
man.
There we go.
Okay.
Good.
I'm gonna say terminal illness.
I'm gonna say climate change.
All right. Good. All right. Let's hope we bust this game wide open.
Yeah, one of us is good.
God help us.
All right.
Okay.
How'd we do?
Well, the majority of people are more worried about online fraud than burglary.
Of course.
All right. Well, then it's like soccer.
God, it's almost like you preempted the fact that you knew it was going to be a wrong answer. You had your finger on the
I
button.
did have my finger there. You know what? I mean, it's fine. It's like soccer. It's okay to tie. It's fine.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Many games end in a tie.
Yeah, that's right. They sure do. Well, this is actually pretty fun. I enjoyed this.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So it sounds like your podcast isn't just for, hey, we're in Password and we're awesome. It's also got all this other stuff in it. Tell people where to get it.
Yeah, so you can look for Random But Memorable in your podcatcher of choice. And if you're looking for a great password manager, I'm sure Scott will tell you, go to onepassword.com.
I love it.
Sign up.
I love it for real. And like I said, this ain't a paid ad at all. We're just, as an old friend, Michael, hanging out talking about cool stuff. But also, I will fully endorse it. It has changed my freaking life, the way I work and the way I do stuff. And once in a while I get reminded. It's like I'm typing in a thing and I'll go, oh, do I remember? And I go, oh, no, I don't need to remember. It's all right here. I'll just blip, blap, bloop, and it's in. Like, it's changed my whole life. Go get it if you haven't already tried it, you guys. It's amazing. Well, this is great. Have a fantastic time, and may all your security issues be toilet paper. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say.
All right.
See you
Thanks,
later, man.
gentlemen.
Thanks, Michael.
Bye. He's a cool dude. He
Very
came
cool.
to Nerdtacular a couple of times, and
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't think Vegas. I should have asked for it, booted him, but I don't
Yeah.
think he was in Vegas yet, or has been in Vegas. But we'd love to have you sometime, Michael, if you want to come. You'd be the most secure person there.
Nice.
All right, let's see. Oh, quick thing. Somebody, Katie. I'll say it's not just a somebody. Katie in our listenership.
Not just somebody, but Katie.
She searched for us in Bing's image generator.
Oh, wow. Okay. Image generator. So this is
Bing has like an OpenAI
gotcha.
thing. I forget. I don't think it's Dolly, but it's whatever their AI image thing is. And so you can go to Bing's chat assistant thing, which is basically their chat GPT, and you can do images there. And somebody just searched for the morning stream and did it 4 times. And these are the results. Now, I'm sharing these with Brian for the first time. I didn't I didn't preview him on these.
This is actual reaction video of Brian seeing these for the first time.
And we have got a challenge on our hands to figure this shit out. So this is number 1. I'll put it up for the chat. Okay. Oh wait, wrong guy. I put it the wrong thing.
Did you send it to
Michael? I sent it to Michael. It's not very good security. Hold on, let me kill that. Okay, there we go. Okay, you see that? It's a dinosaur and a monkey. I don't know who's who, but whatever.
I do like that, that one of us is drinking out of a coffee mug. This is Morning Stream. The other one is drinking out of a coffee mug. It says, me tea, it hit Digron.
Digron? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Also, am I eating a shrimp? What is that? Like on my little if that's me, I don't even know if that's me.
If you're I feel like I'd be the monkey and you'd be the dragon or the lizard.
Well,
Godzilla looking thing.
You got something funky hanging off of your notebook. Look at where your USB connector is. What is that?
Yeah, it's a dongle. It's just purely
there. Yeah.
It's because I'm using technology from from the 90s.
And for some reason, a whole thing of donuts opened up for us out there.
Yeah, and I can't figure out why there's on one side 5 rows of donuts and 4 rows of donuts on the other.
It's got a real MC Escher vibe to it.
Yeah, totally. Yes, exactly.
It's very weird. Anyway, so
Schrodinger's donuts.
So then, so I figured, okay, well, yeah, what's a one-off? It's weird. Who knows what our show is about, right? But then, here comes number 2. I'll put this in Discord as well. This is the second image that arose.
It's really a very Curious George vibe to it. Oh, look at that again.
Another one. There are donuts. There's coffee. There is you and me as monkey and dinosaur. Although you're really dressed up in this one. You have like a suit on and tie.
Yes. Oh yeah.
There's really fancy donuts and M.
And what is the deal with the A in stream?
I don't know. It's like so effed up. I hate AI so much. It's stupid.
I love this artwork, though.
I know it's great. The style's great. It's got a real.
I love that your microphone arm is just somehow magically suspended in air.
Yep.
The microphone arm almost makes a better A than the A in the logo.
Yeah, and it's daisy chain hooked to yours somehow with that cable. Right. But the other end of the cable is just hanging there. I don't know. These are how do computers even work, really? Okay, so then you'd think, all right, well, that's a fluke. You got 2 dinosaur monkeys.
Lotion in the creamer? Is that what that is?
Now look at this one.
It really does not know how to do boxes. Okay.
No, it really doesn't. Another one. Same deal.
And seriously, every single time, Katie is just typing the morning stream.
Just the morning stream, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you get this. Does that make any sense? What is this? These coffee cups are great.
Does not make sense. I don't know why we're monkey and dragon or whatever we are.
I think my cup says drowning in cream.
Oh yeah. Well, droning.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's like somebody said, make it kind of like the Dunder Mifflin mug.
Yeah.
But
not quite. Also, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers.
And I have one of those garden things that tells you when you need to water your rhododendrons, basically. Like a light blue thing is what you stick in the ground to say, "Oh, I need to water more."
Yeah, and there's coffee beans all over.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I am so that's accurate because look at me double fisting, not just extra fingers but extra coffee.
Yeah,
double fisting the coffee.
Yeah, that to me is the most realistic portrayal we've had so far. Then the final and 4th image.
Yes.
This one,
I'm always dressed and you're always naked.
For some reason, this one has a real Bob's Burgers vibe.
Oh!
Also, look at my jaw. Look at my mouth.
There's a little Beetlejuice going on there.
Yeah, it's effed. This one's effed. There's money on the table, though. Look at that.
There's money on the table. There's an iPad.
There's multiple monies.
It's like they again, me with 2 coffees, clearly.
And look at our microphones are steaming hot or something.
That is the best part. I just noticed that too. Or they just stink. Yeah. Those are the stinkiest ass microphones.
Those are stink lines.
There's some cash on the table. There's
multiple cash.
Multiple wads of cash. The donuts look, and again, coffee beans. we're doing a morning show. Quick, throw some coffee beans all over the table.
Well, I think there's something. It's probably something to that, right? Because it's like the computer's like, well, morning show, get up, get moving. You know, like they want caffeine in there. I don't know how these computers work. But I love our mic stand is, you could sell this. Look at this thing.
I like that mic stand a lot. I mean, although it really does require you and your co-host to be very close together, and you don't have any real control over bringing your mic closer or further away from it. So it's like we always have to be in these same positions.
Yeah.
But I like that. Yeah, I'm a monkey, but you're a dude in a Godzilla suit for some reason.
Yeah, with an effed up mouth though. Look at that shit. Because look at that. That's all attached to my face somehow. I look like Bob. I look like Bob or Gene in there from Bob's Burgers. Just looks just like him.
I love these, Scott. I
don't hate them either. Yeah. You know, and I don't like. I'm kind of not. I don't like just here's a prompt, now make some art. I hate it. But
yeah,
these are so stupid that they kind of exceed my expectations.
Yeah, we got to put these. Number one, we got to put them somewhere for the patrons or whoever. Everybody should see these. But God, just the evolution between the four of them.
Yeah,
like it's like it's asking four different comic strip creators to come up with.
Yeah.
With the same.
Can't imagine why artists hate this technology. I just can't imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's something very Matt Groening about that fourth one. Little Bob's Burger is a little Matt Groening, like especially again, we're assuming that I'm the monkey in this case.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Did you see the one Dr. Calhoun just posted? What the hell, dude? Sorry, hold on.
Did he just do the same? So he just did the Morning Stream podcast.
Yeah, look what it came up with here.
It didn't work for me.
Oh, here I'll give it to you. I have it.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. Look at that.
Oh.
First of all, that is not you over there. That's not me either. Neither of those are us.
No, but you're like 28 and I'm like a 70-year-old Larry David all of a sudden.
Yeah, you're like Larry David, that's true. But look at the Spider-Man shit in the back.
Yeah,
that tells me that they know some stuff.
Like a musician, somehow a Popeye Justin Robert Young playing a sitar next to me.
Yep, or something. There's like a Lego dude in the back. He's like a Lego guy. Thing. Yeah, there's like a laser gun. There's a dinosaur on the front lower left. Why does that keep coming up?
It's really, really funny how the dinosaur thing keeps coming up.
And it's also
called the Morning Stram.
Yeah, the Morning Stram. Welcome to the Morning Stram, everyone. We're here every day on Monday through Thursday.
Okay. I feel like one of these needs to be turned into a t-shirt. And my vote is kind of
I kind of like them. I kind of like the Morning Stram.
I kind of like the Morning Stram.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, all right, how's this? Do we thought right off the top of my head, we put up all 5 options.
Yeah.
With a voting system, whichever one gets the most votes, we have some t-shirts made.
We should do it, and we call it
or a coffee mug or something. But,
something, yeah. Even if it's just prints or stickers or something. These are too stupid not to do it. Yeah, even
prints. Totally. Prints or stickers. Like I cannot figure out what half of these, what 99% of the things that are flying behind us. The 2 Spider-Man, especially flying Spider-Man.
Yeah, what's with Fly Spider-Man? Look at him, dude.
Yeah, I totally dig that.
Is there any precedence for that? Is there a flying Spider-Man? I guess he has webs when he coasts.
Yeah, whatever. He has the Captain Universe Spider-Man could fly.
Yeah.
But I can't remember another flying Spider-Man because he's a web swinger. He's always got to be a swinger.
There's kind of an Optimus Prime on the far left near whoever this dude with the beard is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You see that? The body of it?
With a dupe head.
So clearly this thing's like, oh, those guys are nerds. They do nerd shit.
Yeah, but they know, like, video game stuff, the music, the Spider-Man business. Like,
So much of it though is like
there's a weird pumpkin thing.
Yeah, what is that pumpkin thing on top of another like a ghoul-looking head?
Music, yeah, exactly. With music note legs.
There are
this is
suckers.
so
or is that might be a joystick? I don't know what any of this is, but for whatever reason, you and I look like retirement home specialists.
This is an NPR from NPR.
Yep.
It's the Morning Stram.
Yep. Welcome to the Stram. It's good to have you all here. Chate room in the Stram. All right. Well, that was a blast.
That's great. These are freaking awesome, and I want to download all 4 of them and never lose them because they're so good.
They're pretty good. Okay, we are going to do one news story so that we can talk about this other thing too. So here goes. I'm gonna hit the thing. I forgot where I am. Here we go. Right here. Nope. Right here. Nope. Right here. Time for the news. Brought to you by
Coverville. Yeah, we're back this week. No trivia questions to write. Thank you very much. We're back this week with a triple cover story today featuring music of and by the Manic Street Preachers, Corinne Bailey Rae, and The Alarm. Talk about your wide range of stuff. But, when you're doing covers, these all seem to work together. Great songs like Put Your Records On, Rain in the Summertime, and If You Tolerate This, Then Your Children Will Be Next. All covers and covered. That's today at 12 p.m. Mountain Time, twitch.tv/Coverville.
Very nice. Here's one story for you. Do you know that we are getting the enhanced games? You've heard of the Olympic Games. You've heard of the, I don't know, playoffs and Super Bowls and all that.
Sure.
Well, billionaire Peter Thiel, it's kind of a butthole by all accounts, but also one of the dudes that made all that. He worked with Musk back in the PayPal days.
The PayPal days, yeah, right.
Anyway, he's backing a new competition called the Enhanced Games, which is doping legal Olympics. So no rules about doping, about taking steroids, enhancing yourself at all. You just play as enhanced as you want to be.
And
these are the games.
And it's probably encouraged. Like, if you know that your opponents are all doping, you better be doping yourself, or else you're at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, the whole thing will be you dope. If you want to compete, you better dope, and you're not going to be penalized or kicked or anything if you do. You are supposed to do this. It feels like a joke, but they're serious about it. Throughout its storied history, no issue has plagued the Olympic Games more than doping. Athletes taking performance-enhancing drugs or PEDs to gain competitive advantage. Well, from sprinters Ben Johnson to Marion Jones to swimmer Sun Yang, even the state-sanctioned Russian doping program, it's been a problem. But this group's like, you know what? Let's get some of that Peter Thiel money. Let's get a whole thing going. I mean, I'm going to be dead honest with people here. I want to see this. Okay? I have kind of I got a bunch of moral issues with like just the idea of like, let's drug everybody up and see who's strongest. It just seems the most manly bullshit ever. But I kind of want to watch whatever this is. Mm-hmm. I want to see it, you know? It's like if you told me, hey, we're doing an Olympics where everybody's got cyber implants. I'd be like,
you want to see it? Yeah.
Yeah, let me see this show. This is like the kind of garbage television I want to watch.
Totally in. What do we know when this is going to happen?
Let's see. They give us a date. Initially proposed in early 2023, the concept of the games came from an Australian guy. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, thanks, Australia. It's not even us.
Is there going to be a contest who has the most shriveled sack? Oh,
I hope so. That should be a part of every competition.
Or how many heart attacks there? Jeez.
Yeah. You know, they ought to do that. They ought to say, here's the swimming one. Let's check everyone's sacks. Okay, well, you win the preliminary sack thing.
Perfect.
All right, okay, now we're doing javelin. Please expose your sack. Oh, yours are real small. That gives you an advantage. Shot put, here's your sack. Exactly. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's a thing. They don't have a date. It just says they're working on it. So they want to do it, though.
For him to back, it just feels like...
I probably because people like us, even people who have some disdain for this, kind of are curious. So he probably just thinks it's a sure deal. Like it'll just make money.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like such a, God, what is the, like a TikTok version of the Olympics kind of thing.
Kind of, like yeah. I mean,
Mr. Beast, or like
it does feel like Mr. Beast.
We decided to try a whole bunch of Olympic events and really dope people up with some performance-enhancing drugs.
That's
Let's
right.
do it.
I'm 24, and I've got more money than God.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, my sister Wendi will join us, and we'll be talking about a thing. So stick around for that. Brian, you got some music to hold us over?
No other setup you want to do while I figure out what the hell I'm playing? Oh, yeah, this is great. Oh, all right. I'm going to say the name of this band very carefully. It's a band called The Snuts.
Oh, The Snuts.
SNUTS. And if that's not a fun band name to say, I don't know what is.
I love it.
Big thanks to Happy Artist Records, The Orchard, for sending me this one. These guys are great. These guys are some straight up pop, and good pop, not like Backstreet Boys and Sync kind of pop, but like Weezer and if you take the edge off of Green Day, you kind of got a good solid pop band. Anyway, they've got their third album that is just coming out called Millennials.
Shit.
Don't worry. I don't think they're both neither condoning nor promoting. They're just well, I guess it's the same thing. They're not. Oh no, that is different. Those are the opposites.
Condone,
promote.
yeah, promote. You can promote without condone, or I guess you can condone and promote. You can do both.
You can condone and promote. Yeah,
or promote.
Anyway, they're
sure.
not neither admonishing nor promoting. How's that?
Yeah.
Whatever. The album's called Millennials. It's their third studio album. The band is called The Snuts, and this is their song "Millionaires."
Does the shoulder strap in your car cut into your shoulder?
Why, hello, Chief.
And we're back. Who was that? One more time. As if I could forget Snuts.
Yeah,
but
you're
tell
never
me
going to
anyway.
forget the name of this band,
Yeah.
The Snuts, and their brand new song "Millionaires" from their upcoming album Millennials. And this their headline tour actually starts Monday, so you can see them touring all around the U.S. Go see The Snuts.
Go see the Snuts. They're live now in concert. Nicely
That's
done.
right.
Now this. Whoops, this.
I'll explain the situation to Wendi. Don't worry.
Well. What is it we have here? It is my younger sister, Wendi, who joins us as she does each Thursday to do a little therapy Thursday. She's a professional therapist, but she comes here and slums it with us for a week to, help people with their real problems. Wendi, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
And she's probably fascinated by these weird images that she sees in Discord. Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
You
I
do
am.
this on
I'm
your-
looking at them. What am I
somebody,
seeing?
we had a fan or two fans in this case, but the first four, the monkey and the dinosaur, were a listener just searched for the morning stream in the Bing image generator thing, AI generator.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what it came up with, and we can't figure out why we are a dinosaur and monkey eating donuts and drinking coffee all morning. It's just
with
a weird
sticky
thing.
microphones in front of us.
Yeah, with smelly microphones. And then the bottom one is
I
somebody
have
just did it while we were talking and came up with something totally different that looks nothing like either of us, really. I mean, maybe.
And
kinda.
Dr. Calhoun even gave us another one, too, that I think has what I would say is the most accurate representation of Scott, but no Brian to be found in this melange.
Let's see. There's another link you put in.
It was a direct email or a direct message from him. Did he send it to you, too?
No. Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he did. Here it is. Let me pull it up.
That is straight up Scott.
Who are these other
left of
people?
center. Well, one of them's clearly Alex.
Alex Albisu? Goodness gracious.
Alex Albisu. And
Yeah.
then we've got Lee Iacocca,
Yeah.
the kid from Elliot from E.T.
Yeah. It's really weird.
What it looks like when you take the robe off of off of a Jawa.
Yeah.
And
some robots, some bird as a bird, some shoes.
weird-
Well,
bird
someone
thing.
playing a guitar. Is that the bird?
I mean, I
weird
guess.
flaming bird playing guitar.
So someone just looked up in
Someone
BAI
typed,
thing.
Give me album art for the Morning Stream podcast, and this is what it spit out.
And this is what it
That
spits
sounds
out.
Amazing.
Yeah. We're living in a chaotic time, Wendi.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Why am I not on there? That's what I'm saying.
That's what exactly. What a sausage fest this
Because
thing
AI
is.
is freaking sexist, is why.
Yeah, that's right. or our show only has 3 female guests. That might be the reason.
Yeah, so you guys are so
We got a lot of dudes on here. Well, anyway, it's good to have you here. I hope you're having a decent week and all's well on your front, I suppose.
It's all going great.
Did you guys ever get any snow this year, or are you just screwed? Just nothing?
Nope, we're just screwed. We got a little flake the other day. Yeah, it was 60 Monday. I love weather, by the way. 60 Monday, and then yesterday morning when I walked the dog at 7 o'clock, it was 6 degrees.
60 to 6. That's a significant drop.
What a range.
Yeah.
And yesterday, like 20. By this weekend, I mean, I think we're 70 at some point. Like, that's unheard of.
That's crazy. That's insane. That's Minnesota, you guys. How can you even have a new season of Fargo set in that place? It's not even going to be cold.
Agreed. You have and everyone's torn because it's a statewide pastime to complain about weather. And now we're all complaining it's too warm, which feels wrong. But it's just wackadoo. Anyway, but yeah.
Well, it's good to have you here.
Living our best.
Yeah, living your best life, really. Let's get to today's stuff. First, we're going to do a little follow-up from last week. Yeah. And I'll read this real quick. It was a question for Wendi after this week's Therapy Thursday, or I guess it was last week's. The session on emotionally immature parents really resonated with me, and even have the book on my nightstand. Maybe it's a sign I finally dig into it. Anyway, also, I didn't take this at first, but I guess they already had the book. They didn't get it because
Can I tell you something really quick?
Yeah.
Every person I have talked to about this book in the last little while has it.
Really?
In their house.
Why? Wait.
There's a lot of immature parents out there. Apparently.
It's weird. And I think it's a book you run across. I mean, it has 22,000 5-star reviews on Amazon. So it's coming across people's feeds, obviously.
Yeah.
It's small. This is not like a well-known person writing it. I think it just resonates so deeply with people. Yeah. Anyway, so each person I've talked to, I've said, have you heard of this book? And they're like, I have it. I just haven't read it. I'm like, okay, well, read it now.
Yeah,
so
now read it.
I got, half my clientele are reading it right this moment because it's good and it's helpful. So,
well, this message goes on to say, Wendi mentioned that those of us in this situation may never be able to be our, quote, true selves, unquote, because we had to change for our parents. However, after doing that for 40 plus years, I have a hard time believing that isn't just who I am now. I'd love to hear Wendy's thoughts. M in Florida. So, I get that. There's stuff recently here. I don't get into details, but on Kim's side of the family, you get to be. Kim's 3 years younger than me, but we're both middle-aged people. We got 3 little grandbabies now. We're in a very different time than we used to be. Yeah. And we still, every once in a while, something will come up and we'll go, oh my gosh, that has been dogging me for my whole life and I didn't even know it. And it's something from a parent, right?
Yep.
And that seems dire because you're like, well, I don't, it's one thing if I'm 20 and I realize these things, but when you're 40, 50, 60 and these things still come up, that's freaky. So anyway,
this is why I'll never not have a job. It's because it's so much, and we parenting and raising kids, it's hard. When you're doing it, you're so ignorant. Especially when you're young, but you just don't. If we knew really kind of how sticky things can be for somebody, we'd be really scared of parenting more than we are. And I think it's because, take a kid, you mostly meet their needs. I would say, at least, Scott, you could argue this with me, but I think mom and dad probably met most of your emotional needs, not all of them because no one's perfect,
right.
But they did not neglect you or lock you in a closet, or they didn't harm you in any real intentional ways. And still, you're going to have things where being really known or seen or understood, they missed.
Yeah.
And it isn't that it's only up to parents to do all that work, but they are the front line of your whole interaction with the planet. And so it just has such a big impact, right? So you can see those that happens in small ways. And then you take really a lot of bigger ways. You take a parent who cannot see a child for who they are, allow them to be themselves, that kind of thing. And what happens is you just wrap yourself into the shape that your parents need you to be so you can try to get that love and get that acceptance and feel good. And that then becomes your whole personality. Like the emailer said, it just feels like, well, who else would I be? I only have this. I've done it for 40 years or however long, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is really scary, and many people will never go do this kind of work because it's just easier to keep running into the same wall, a wall that's familiar, right? Some people get a lot of relief when a parent dies because, okay, now they can't reject me anymore, or I can't keep not getting what I need here. And so that can feel like relief, and some change can happen then. But really just on purpose, diving into this for someone can just be all new territory. Like, who am I really? So one of the exercises in the book, so yes, read the book, is to go back to before you, like the time before you morph to make everybody happy. So an example might be for every single woman on, at least on the American continent, before middle school, before you were overly sexualized, or before you were, those awkward middle school years for most people. What did you used to like to do? What used to just bring you joy or get you excited or whatever it might be? And so I did this with a client the other day, and we found in her current life, she did 0 of the things that we found were pre-12 years old. So it was sewing, reading, singing, like just living life, right? Mm-hmm. And then as she had to twist into a pretzel to make everybody else happy, and now her life is falling apart at 40 because you can't do this forever. We're finding so much solace and growth in actually going back to who you might have been early days. Now, if you were in a really severe situation, you probably didn't have a lot of moments where you found things you loved because you were trying to keep mom happy from a very, very young age, or dad happy or something, right? But for anyone listening, and maybe this person, writing down a list of things of like, what did I used to love to do before I had a mortgage or before I had to make sure my spouse cared about me, or my parents were pleased with me, or whatever it might be. Sometimes it's a great way to start to figure out who am I really? What do I like? And your own self-acceptance of that, right? Because you have to deny those parts of you if they displease your parents, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everyone who's ever been in any closet is like, amen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh yeah.
God, yeah.
Right?
No
Yeah.
kidding.
You can only keep that up for so long too, like you were saying.
Right.
I always think of my 10th and 11th year of life. And for whatever reason, I have romanticized that 2-year period almost ridiculously, to the point that it's not that accurate. I'm sure I had moments of sadness or emotional this or that. I'm sure it wasn't perfect, but I have nothing but fond memories of that. Puberty was nowhere to be seen. None of that mattered. All that mattered to me at 10 and 11 was finding snakes in the yard with my brother, or getting on our BMX bikes and riding to the school and screwing around there all day, or any number of other fun, adventure-y, good time stuff. It was an amazing time. I loved it. And I think about it all the time. And when I do that, it actually has a weird, like, positive effect on me. When I think about that era, it makes me go, oh, I'm still basically that person. And it's funny, a lot of the things I like now are things I would love when I was 10 or 11, whether it's drawing or it's, I don't know, cartoons or, whatever thing I just was obsessed with. I still love those things. But as an adult, you sometimes put this on yourself. Sometimes society does it, but you have this feeling of like, well, I'm not allowed to still go watch He-Man cartoons. That's not cool to do that when you're in your freaking early 50s. What's that about? Well, who cares? Freaking go watch He-Man. I know it's garbage, but so what? It was my garbage. Anyway.
Yeah.
The romanticization of that time period comes from also the nostalgia of the things that you still love now, that you say, I know I was doing this when I was 10 or 11. So I must have, that must have been part of that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, anyway. and it is definitely connected. And I would say, Scott, this is me assessing your childhood from 7 years younger than you.
Yeah.
But you really lucked out with your parents, because that was not, like, you being the weirdo that you are was valued, and it's because dad was a weirdo too.
Yeah.
And And yet, like,
I always
he had
I always
no
felt
permission.
that. I only ever felt
permission.
negative pressure on that outside of the home. That was never a problem at home.
Which this is why life, it's not like your life is easy, but this is why you are as functional as you are, because that is so important developmentally for a child to be witnessed as its actual self in its growing form. And that's what's parenting is so hard. They change 1,000 times under your roof.
Yeah.
And if you can't let them change, or it should be, and the best advice I ever had was this lady I really respected. She brought me dinner when I had a baby, and she said to me, "Hey, I'm just going to throw this out here, but when I met my kids," and she used that word, I met them.
When I met my kids.
Yeah, when I met them, I felt like, wait a minute, aren't I supposed to just be like in love? And this most, she's like, yeah, all I felt was like, hi, my name's Brooke. I'm going to be your mom. Like,
weird.
I didn't have that stuff people talked about.
Yeah.
But, and that helped lower the bar of like how you're supposed to feel for me. But it was also super right on, which is, I don't know these kids yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to know them. Rather than I'm going to form them and they're going to make me feel good because they play baseball or basketball.
There's also it's funny because there's a thing happening right now, and it's kind of a celebrity thing, but Bradley Cooper's being taken to task for an interview he did on Dax Shepard's podcast where they were talking about kids and how it changes your life and everything. And he said he didn't think he loved this kid when she was born. He says, it's here's a quote, "It's dope. It's cool. I'm watching this thing morph," he said, referring to his daughter. "Fascinated by it. Love taking care of it. Would die if someone came in with a gun. It's only a couple of months. I don't know." Like he's not feeling that like I would die for this kid feeling, or I don't know if I know I'm meant to take care of it, but do I love what this is? I don't even know what this is. And it took time for it. People are really piling on him for this. But I think what he was saying was, I haven't heard the whole interview, but I think context matters. But I think what he's basically saying is, I wasn't expecting to not feel those feelings then. I feel them now, but it took time. It's okay to admit that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you just can't do anything in the internet age and have nuance.
Well, especially if you're, if you're Bradley Cooper.
But also, what is happening in someone that this is I don't know, a fool's errand, but what is happening for people that they get so triggered by someone saying something about their own experience that in the end, he's not saying, I don't even like this kid. I'm just going to pay for it, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, but what triggers that in us? And that's, if you can get curious about that doesn't trigger me one iota. But I also had parents that, man, you paved the way. I was easy to get to know. They did not have to twist their brain to understand me. I was very boring and straightforward. I was still myself, right? But does that make sense? Like, that's how it actually should be. And if you weren't given that as a kid, if you were not allowed to be yourself, then it's going to really hit you. Certain things are going to hit you more than other things, right? You're going to hear a celebrity say a thing and freak out. Like, my favorite is how everyone gets obsessed with like the bathing habits of celebrities. Like, oh, they only wash their hair once a week or some whatever. And you're like, what? And that's because that's your stuff.
Yeah.
Like and they're not allowed to have their own weird thing that they do because you need them to be something. That's about you. And so it is a fascinating little kaleidoscope.
It's about you, but it's also about the depersonalization of people you don't know, but you
100%.
think you do. Yeah.
Like, somehow Bradley Cooper is the worst thing in the world because he could honestly talk about attachment development, which is normal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the real problem is if you're not allowed to have that be your experience, like Brooke, who had to shake hands with her kids, then if that's not permissible, then what do? You're going to fake like it's something? Like, you know what kids need is parents faking it, right?
Yeah, more faking it.
That's the hard thing, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a thing I had to learn, that not everybody was thrilled. Like, when my kids all popped out the chute, I was stoked. I was so excited. Emotionally, just so ready. It was their high points of my life still. Like, this is the most amazing thing. And my relationship with them now matters more to me than anything. But it took me a while to realize that not everyone is having that experience in the ER, or not ER, but in the in the birthing room. Their fears that they may have had leading up to it don't suddenly abate like mine did. Some of them carried forward. Some of them never left. Some of them still deal with it now and they're whatever. And to me, that feels really foreign and weird. The hard part is just going, yeah, it does feel foreign and weird to you because that's not yours. That's not your thing. And somebody else's experience, you gotta get better about understanding that not everybody had that experience.
Well, and also let's go back to your 10, 11-year-old highlight reel. That is when I'm working with someone to help heal a lot of these wounds that happened when they were younger, and they don't have a 10-year-old life like that. They don't have a 5-year-old life like that. They were very young ages, whether through abuse, directly obvious physical, sexual, any kind of abuse like that, or the more insidious and dangerous emotional abuse. They were not allowed to be children.
Yeah.
In the same way that concept of just free and carefree and safe and loved, and there's a place to come home and eat. Like, notice you weren't like, where will I eat tonight? Right?
Yeah.
Or what kind of dad am I coming home to? Like, those are real things these children have experienced, right? And that has carried on throughout their life. So when you are feeling the burnout at midlife or even earlier, because you've had to play a role, you've had to survive, it's your adrenal glands give out, right? Autoimmune disorders are connected. Your body is showing you, because you couldn't see it earlier because it was this water you were swimming in. You don't know. But when those signs come up, it's the body's way of going like, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So even if it's 40 years in and you think this is my personality, I promise everything in your physical system doesn't want it anymore. Mm-hmm. And so to heal that, often what I'm doing with these folks is getting these sort of, and you ever hear it, healing your inner child or freeing your inner child. It's literally what this means, is allowing that inner child to play and to not be trapped inside this system that was requiring them to be something else. So it is really about creating your highlight 10-year-old reel for these kids who never got to have that. Right. And can be incredibly life altering for them.
Right.
I had a client recently, we did a session similar to this, and just really freeing up this little kid in her that had to keep mom safe emotionally because mom was not okay. And what happens when that kid no longer feels that burden? The whole system just relaxed. She's like, what voodoo is this? Her husband said, what happened? But I would like to sign up.
Yeah.
Because it's like holding your breath your whole life. It's like waiting for the other shoe to drop your whole life. And there are ways to help and treat this. And that, I guess that's what I'm hoping for. And when that book is nice because it's concise and accessible and 22,000 people gave it 5 stars, maybe people will look at it and kind of identify some stuff that's kind of held them to be reactive or sad or isolating or whatever it is they're doing right now. There's often explanations from earlier stages.
Sure. Well, I hope this helps our follow-up asker, because I don't know. I got a lot out of last week's episode, and I think other people did too. Parents, man, what are you going to do with them? What a bunch of weirdos. Right, Carter? Parents, right? Am I right? Nothing. I'm teasing you. Go back to work.
Can't live with them. Can't
be born without them.
Can't be born without them.
Born without them.
All right. We've got a whole other email here. It's a bit of a beast, but I think we can get through this in terms of answering the question.
Read it?
Yeah. You want to read it? You can read it.
Oh, sure.
Let me read it.
Totally up to you. Yeah. You start with the Dear Wendi, and then we'll give all the advice. All right.
Okay. So, dear Wendi, my daughter is about to turn 11 years old. Ooh, that's that special time we're talking about. Okay. And she's been seeing a therapist for anxiety for a few months now. She says she likes it and that it's been helping her. The other night, as her mom was putting her to bed, she asked if there was a book that she could get so that she could learn more about anxiety. She said she wanted to learn more about her anxiety to understand it better, and that she wanted to learn more tools and techniques for managing her anxiety. So on the surface, this is simply a book request for my 11-year-old daughter. But let me give more context in case it helps. Oh, this is a listener. They know I need context.
Yeah. They know. Yeah.
They know what's up.
Because I'd also like to know things that I can do as a parent to help her through this.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be important. So my daughter has always been a bit of a worrier, but it's gotten worse over the years. She worries a lot in unfamiliar situations, in situations where she has a perceived lack of control. Some examples are that she recently went with a friend's family on a day trip 2 hours out of town. She was very anxious about whether the friend's mom whom she knows very well, by the way, was going to get mad at her for some reason. Another example is how anytime we go anywhere, she always has to make sure that they have a bathroom there because she is worried about whether or not she'll be able to have a place to go.
Valid.
She doesn't have a bowel issue at all and has never had any urinary tract infections or anything. It's just something that she fixates on. She catastrophizes quite a lot and has a hard time focusing on the potential positive outcome of a situation. Therapy has helped her some. It seems like she has gotten better at managing her anxiety at school and feels better day to day. But it also seems like her anxieties have been distilled or concentrated more intensely in specific reoccurring moments and situations. Bad times are always hard for her. Bedtimes. Yep. It's all right. Thank you. Bedtimes. Recently in her class, they've been discussing history and have talked about social justice and equal rights movement. So for the past couple nights or months, she has had a hard time going to bed thinking that the KKK are going to break into her house and hurt her or other people in her family.
Jeez.
Our family is white, by the way. I mention that because I think it illustrates to me how much she catastrophizes. She thinks that because she has black friends she's going to be targeted. I worry a little bit about OCD tendencies because she seems to have these series of rituals that she's been developing around bedtime. She has to say goodnight, give a hug and a kiss, and you have to make sure you say it back to her. And then if you take too long to leave the room after doing that, you have to do it all over again. And after you leave, she has to go around and systematically check the closet under her bed, make sure her alarm is set, and do the goodnight ritual again. Anyway, this is the longest request for a book recommendation ever. How can we help her? Lol. Lol.
Signed, concerned parent. They do sound concerned.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So, guys, what do you share? Yeah. What do you think?
Oh man,
Tristan had rituals. Like there were things that he had to do at bedtime. Trying to remember, it was something similar, right? Where, we had to give him a hug and kiss in a regular order. He liked order. He liked, following a process for all those things. I think it calmed him. And he would catastrophize as well. Like if he saw a movie where somebody broke into a house, he'd be worried about that too. For the record, if I watch a heist, not a heist movie, but like a movie where there's like somebody breaking into somebody's house right before bed, I either dream about it and it freaks me out, or I wake up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden hear a noise that of course has to be somebody breaking into the house.
Yeah. I have stuff like that, but it's funny because everybody's probably gonna have a version of this, right? Or you're gonna have some level of this. For me, this hits really home because I catastrophize, or I've gotten better at it in recent years, but I used to be really bad at this all the way up into adulthood. In fact, it felt like it's right around puberty where anxiety happens for me. That's where it kicks in. Prior to that, I felt like who cares? Like the whole world's my oyster. Let's go. Something about that changed. I don't know if that's just chemically or whatever the deal is. And maybe this girl's on the cusp of that and that has something to do with this. I don't know, but there is something about hormonal changes that I felt like were my catalyst for that. But my anxieties are often like this. It's like, oh, that's a terrible thing that happens to people. Now I'm going to internalize that to the point where I think about, that could happen to me then. If it can happen to other people, it can happen to me, which is interesting because on the one hand, I think some kids would think that way and go, oh, this happens to other people. I'm going to be more empathetic toward them so I understand their situation because, boy, I sure wouldn't like that to happen to me. And then there's a subset of kids who go, that happens to other people. That's going to happen to me. Like it's just a different way of taking the same information. Yeah. And I did a lot like she does, I think, when I was young. And also, so here's a big difference between two of my kids. So in Taylor's case, if she felt sick at all, she would look at me and go, Dad, I don't want to throw up. And she would just like have this whole meltdown about the possibility of barfing. Carter, on the other hand, would go, I don't feel good. Did you see that, Dad? I threw up. Like, it wasn't a big deal for her. It was just like a part of, and we would talk and she would be just as energetic after she was before. But for Taylor, it was just devastating. Oh my gosh, I'm going to throw up sort of thing.
The dread of it.
The dread of it all. And it was a very distinct difference between their two personalities. And I am a little more like on Taylor's side. Like I don't talk much about it, but this dental visit I had to do yesterday or 2 days ago, I was dreading that so bad. so bad. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go. I'm going to suck it up and make it happen. But I really, really don't want to do it. And it obsessed my thoughts. I couldn't sleep the other night. All I could think about was a stupid dental visit. So some of us just feel like we can never shake this kind of crap. And then some of us do because they go to therapy and take care of their problems. So I don't know. I don't know if this isn't, I obviously doesn't answer your question about what will you tell this girl, because all I'm saying is I can relate to it. And, Brian had experiences with his son that are similar. So I think there's some relation here, but I don't know what to tell them, because I don't even know what to tell myself with this. I catastrophize all the time. Still.
Right. Good thing you guys have an expert here. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yes.
I was like, you guys, this kid's not good advice. What are you?
No, it's terrible. You asked us, so we're just telling you.
Exactly.
I know.
We like to be the worst examples possible to make your stuff even look better than it already is.
I feel like you're what is that called? You're propping me up. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm totally kidding. That was great. But it's also this, like, you can relate, right? You can relate. It's hard. Parenting a kid who's feeling really anxious is tricky. So you follow the ritual with her, or, and in your case, Tristan, like, it just made him feel better. So let's do it. And you don't maybe think much about that. And then as things are kind of getting worse, that is a clue to a couple things. So I'm going to put in the chat, Scott, the book I would recommend.
Okay.
Well, it's a link to an Amazon thing. Anyway,
that's fine. I'll pull it up.
This is, if you're, I can't diagnose someone from far away, but if the things that you're saying are what's happening, and that's just a picture of it, this is definitely OCD.
Mm-hmm.
And OCD is treated differently than regular anxiety. And so it sounds like, great, you got a therapist on board, and this little girl is suffering. And her brain is telling her to do certain things, or bad things will happen. Here's the thing that's hard to know as parents. It sounds like you have a good relationship with her and you're connected, and she's maybe not sharing everything. Maybe she is, I don't know. But often with OCD, there'll be a lot of scary, intrusive thoughts that are happening. Just like, okay, this is all going to blow up. So there's an anxious thought. It's fairly intrusive, right? OCD as a special blend of the anxiety family. Those thoughts are really disturbing, and they don't go away. And so it might be, if I don't check the oven, the house will blow up, my family's going to die, but I also can't tell my family that's what I'm doing, or they will also die. So they're being tormented, and they can't really convey that. So that's the question. We don't know. If I hear these symptoms with a kid, I am thinking, okay, what you see on the surface is trying to manage what's going on inside. And what's going on inside is usually a lot worse than your guess if you have never had OCD or sort of had some experiences knowing what this might look like. So take this very seriously. And the first thing I would do is talk to the therapist, mention maybe they're already aware of these symptoms, and I would do this. Mainly because a parent did this to me way back in the day, and it was such a gift to my career. So her daughter had OCD. The mom had OCD. They both had pretty intrusive thoughts, lots of repetitive behaviors to try to manage intrusive thoughts. So they met me. They were referred by someone who knew me. So we did a session. The girl loved me. And the mom's like, what do you know about treating OCD? And I'm like, well, I can treat anxiety. OCD's a little new for me. She's like, how do you feel about me paying for you to get training?
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, okay. So she bought me a couple books, and then I started studying OCD and how to treat it. And I did everything wrong prior to that. Everything wrong. Yeah. Because you don't treat it the same. And that's why I'm acting so alarmed here, is that if you have a therapist that is working with your daughter who is not skilled in treating OCD, this is going to be worse. So take somebody who's anxious. They're freaking out about this. They're having a thought of something terrible is going to happen. They're catastrophizing. There's something. You can handle that in two different ways. One is you can go join them and tell them it's terrifying. You're right. We're all going to die. Mm-hmm. And often when that happens, someone might actually calm down a little bit. Other times
when someone acts just as, or crazier than, not crazier, when they act more extreme than they are,
Yeah.
it has a weird. This has happened to me before. It has a weird feeling of like, oh, are you okay? Like, I'm maybe,
Yeah, now I got to help you.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Because all of a sudden your focus shifts to, oh, what can I do to help this person, as opposed to how am I reacting to this whole thing?
yeah, it's weird.
Right. So now imagine it's your parent, and I'm not saying that's happening here, but imagine a parent who's supposed to be the one that protects you and is safe, and they freak out with you. Okay, that's alarming, right?
Help,
then the second version, another version is the parent or the person, you reassure them too quickly. You discount what they're thinking or experiencing, or and so that actually with anxiety can soothe you a little bit, or like, oh, I guess it's going to be okay. But how it makes it so much worse with OCD is that you have now created a ritual or a requirement for someone to come in and fix the thing. And the very soothing, nice response, or like, it's going to be okay, and all of that empathy actually backfires and proves the kid's point, which this is something that's terrifying. Okay, so when you do that over and over with a child who has OCD, their rituals will get worse. You will see the only nice thing about OCD is you can see what's not working. And I'm hearing some improvement with maybe the general anxiety, but I'm hearing it maybe devolving more into OCD behaviors. So that tells me there might be two things happening, and the OCD is now flaring up because it's actually the opposite treatment. So I've joked about exposure therapy before, like, oh, it's exposure therapy, running into, your ex-boyfriend or whatever. But that is actually the gold standard treatment model for OCD, is to be exposed to the thing you're afraid of, or the germ, if it's a contamination feeling, or one, or like there's a bunch of them.
Could you take somebody who's like afraid of germs and stuff, take them to a public place, and just for the next 20 minutes you're going to open every doorknob you see, and you're not going to worry about it, or you're just going to deal with it. Here we go. Open this one, open this one, open this one. Eventually they realize, well, I opened 20 doorknobs. I washed my hands after just once, and it was fine, and I don't have to worry. Is that the kind of exposure you're talking about?
Yeah, it's definitely not like that exactly, but it is the same concept of like expose them to the thing that creates the panic response.
Yeah.
And then elongate the time before they can perform the ritual that calms them down.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Okay.
So think of OCD as a brain glitch. Everyone's got a little anxiety, right? And then some people's anxiety gets bigger and bigger. OCD is like a wire gets tripped, and that then makes it so intense and requires you to behave in ways in order to solve the problem. So we have a universally loved version of OCD. If you step on a crack, you break your mother's back. That is OCD. But we play. It's a childhood, like, because there's a couple magical thinking kinds of things that happen with kids in their brains. This is when it's like it's stuck in the on position forever. And so the way to unstick it, medication's really valuable. I would consider, because here's what's tricky, is you want to get on top of this before this gets much worse. And often these kids historically have just stayed under the radar and hidden these compulsions. And then what happens is we've got now parents are way more on top of things, and we have services, and we do the thing, and we're trying to help. I just want to emphasize getting specialized OCD, making sure that the therapist you're working with isn't accidentally making it worse. Because I did. I was that therapist, right? And until that mom was willing to buy me a bunch of books, and I was willing to, to learn for myself, I would have done everything wrong. And it doesn't mean, you're not gonna super harm the child, but you are going to elongate the process before she gets the real help that she does need. Now, again, I'm not diagnosing her from far away, but
no,
that's really likely what it is.
Do you think, I don't know what the general consensus is within the, medical community and the mental health community, but things like OCD, like severe examples of OCD, having to count your steps, no crack walking, I don't know,
turn
whatever.
The lights on and off.
And on, yeah, all those sorts of things.
Checking,
Those are recoverable situations, meaning like people can end that in their life successfully, or is that a thing they're just always going to have to deal with and you're going to just stamp it down? You know what I mean?
Yeah, not that you stamp it down. Don't ever do that. That makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
It is actively treating it. So if it's actively treated, think of it as like remission, right? And medicine. So there's a couple SSRIs that are really helpful for this.
Yeah.
And some people that works really well for and can just manage it completely that way. Most people need both medicine and some therapy. And it's just knowing what it is. It doesn't make sense. So talking to an average person about it who's never experienced or treated anyone with it, it doesn't make sense to you. So, hey, I just locked my front door. I got in my car and the intrusive thought is the door's not locked. You're going to get robbed.
Yeah.
So you have to go check it, and you're checking it 100 times. Try to explain that to anyone who's not doing that.
It's hard.
Right?
Yeah, it seems crazy.
It's so hard. They feel crazy. They can't stop it. They know this isn't normal. It's not like they're in a delusion. They just can't not do it. So because their whole system is telling them, if you don't check that door this last time. So you can see how it really interrupts your life. And so yes, treatment, there's good treatment. And I've seen people go in remission and do really, really well. You always think of it as like any other challenge. You just have to keep on top of it and not let it get too far. And the hard part is early detection. That's why I'm feeling very emphatic that they do this now, because she's 11 and 11 is so early to catch this and do good with it. Like truly. Yeah. Because this is not just simply anxiety. And you just want to make sure you get good care, because your long-term outcomes are just going to be better, because she won't be building more and more rituals, hiding them, feeling shame. Like we can get her out of all of those things and find out what's maybe really also going on in her head. Because sometimes, I mean, I've had clients tell me their compulsive thoughts, their obsessive thoughts that are violent and terrifying, or, really gross and really disturbing. So you imagine you're a kid, you just think you're evil.
Yeah.
And you're not. Your brain is glitching and you need help. So we just don't know what is going on in her head. And so someone who's skilled at this is going to make a big difference. So mom and dad, bless. I think it's maybe 2 dads. I don't know. All the parents, everyone involved, like recognize that this is not a parenting problem. This is, as we just talk about how parents screw stuff up.
Yeah.
This is not a parenting problem, but parents can definitely make it worse. And so we just want you to get what you need to understand to do it, to help her in ways that are not going to add to it, but will help her manage it.
And a reminder, book-wise, OCD Workbook for Kids, it's called.
That is my secondary recommendation. This should not be your first line of defense. Your first line of defense should be a qualified OCD specific therapist for her.
Yeah.
Your
not
second thing,
you can do yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And this book is awesome. You're going to learn a ton as the parent. It's a book you can go through together. It's built for her age, I believe. And it will give her a much better understanding of her symptoms and understanding it differently.
This also isn't a book from the 50s. This is 2017. No. This thing was published. So, it's newish.
Yeah. And that whole series, anything that looks like that, they're different authors, but it's the whole series. So for like anger issues or anxiety or, what's another one? A depression book. They're really helpful because it's on a kid's level. It's quality stuff. Anyway, so that whole series is good. Cool. But yeah, that would be helpful, I think, for the whole family. And just recognizing like that mom back in the day, like this is not, I mean, and here's the thing, the mom had intrusive OCD thoughts that activated when she was in her like early 20s.
Jeez.
And because she knew it was something else than just, oh, there's my depressed, sad, anxious kid. She knew. She just liked me enough to, guide me to actually be qualified. And I thank her, because what a gift to give somebody, right?
Yeah, no, that
she's
is.
like, please don't let me offend you, but you're not qualified.
And
she was absolutely right.
Yeah, that stuff's great. You got to accept it for what. Like today, I taught Kim how to make a PDF.
Oh, see.
Yeah. It's not quite the same impact, but it's important that we impart our knowledge and help
Yes.
others do better.
That's so kind of you. Yeah.
pass along those things that the next generation or people in our lives are going to need to know.
I mean, look, these taxes weren't going to do themselves, so I figured I'd help out. Well, that's great. Wendi, as always, it is a pleasure, as Dad would say,
pleasure
to do that. And I look forward to whatever we do next. Wendy's, of course, coming to Vegas as well, everybody. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, get in there over at frogpants.com/store and pick them up so you can meet Wendi. Even if that's all your goal is for that week. She's got you covered.
That's a good goal to have.
I agree.
Yeah. And we're going to do another fun meetup thing. And yeah, I haven't quite figured out what exactly it is, but I got a couple
Barry
ideas.
does have the thing again.
Barry.
Barry is very happy to help.
The patio things.
Yeah.
Love it.
He reached out to Kim as well and said,
if
you guys need that, he says, you guys make sure Wendi knows she has it. So
he's so great.
they are wonderful human beings. Wendi, have a fantastic week. We'll see you next time. Bye. Okay. There she goes. Real quick here before we get out. Just indulge me a little here, Brian, if you don't mind.
Of course, anytime.
You do that a lot, and I appreciate it. You indulge me.
You're not gonna use a toothpick for.
No. None of that. I'm not going to eat on air. None of those things. I'm trying to keep those to a minimum.
Eat some gummy worms or something.
Yeah, I'm going to choose some tinfoil. No, here's what I'm going to do. Yesterday, Taylor sent us this video. I'm just saying, we got Phoebe's a year old. All right. Now it's one thing for her to say hi or bye-bye or something like that. But last night she's eating crackers and she has this conversation with Tay, and I just had to share the audio. So check this out. And all you young kids will especially get it because this term is one that you all love. So here we go.
And your crackers? Crackers. Are they bussin'? Bussin'.
They're bussin'. Her crackers are bussin'. Bussin'. Isn't that great?
Hilarious. I'm so out of loop. I don't even know what that means. I'm going to say good.
I think bussin' means, oh man, that burrito was bussin'. I think that means it was just really good. I don't know that. Okay. I'm kind of afraid to look it up, to be honest.
I know. We've been burned so many times.
Yeah.
It's a.
Let's see. Well, okay. So here's how it's pronounced.
Bussin'.
All right.
Sure. Okay.
Let's see. Those from McDonald's fries sure do be bussin', though, is a use case. Okay. Let's see.
Greasy? It means greasy, right? Is that?
It says delicious, tasty, excellent, or extremely good. Often used for food. So.
But a food almost exclusively or very specifically for food.
For food, yeah. Like. But I think it can also be like your shoes are bussin' or your,
Yeah.
It's a really dumb phrase, but to hear a 1-year-old say it really made my day. So.
Yeah.
Bussin'.
It's no weirder than illin, which was our time period.
Yeah, we did illin. We did radical. I mean, we did stupid shit. So you guys have your time. It's fine. Have your time saying stupid shit. It's fine.
Yes, exactly. It's your time.
That's right. Today, Coverville, noon?
Noon, yeah. So in about an hour and 10 minutes, I'll be starting Coverville, playing some Marvel Snap. Got a She-Hulk Infinite deck that I've been playing around with that I kind of have fun with.
Oh, nice. So that'll be so both gamers and music lovers, your day is coming.
Right.
Today's your day.
You get both all in one.
That's right. Also, Core tonight, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, right here at the streaming channels if you watch live.
Cool.
Got a lot to talk about there. More layoffs in the industry. Sony did a big, nasty one. Pissed me off.
Oh, wow.
Whatever. It's a mess right now. Also, I'm going to stream something in place of Couch Party tomorrow. I don't know what yet, but Brian's got an airport run with his mom.
Taking my mom to the airport, so no Couch Party. I'm going to try and do Guess the Connection either late afternoon or tomorrow morning before I leave. So that could be as early as like a 7:30 a.m. couch or Guess the Connection.
Sure, why not? Early birds, get ready. All you Australians who just be having dinner or whatever.
There you go. Exactly.
Play Retro tomorrow at 1:30 and Skim also tomorrow sometime. Don't know what time yet. Kim and I are working on that. And then Film Sack this weekend. We are doing Tron finally. Holy crap. I'm so excited. I love Tron. Gosh dang it. I love Tron. And I know that Tron, for a lot of people, especially if you didn't see it back in the day or you weren't a kid then, it probably looks like cheese. But man, the feelings I have for Tron, they are deep.
For sure. Yeah.
We'll see how it holds up.
That weird black and white colorized visual style,
early CG
Jeff
stuff.
Bridges, young Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, man.
Pre-Lebowski.
Yeah. way pre. I think it was even pre-Starman,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very early
for a lot of us. This was one of the first things we ever saw Jeff Bridges in.
Yeah, this was like that's Lloyd Bridges' son. That's as
right,
we knew.
Right, yeah. Exactly. And played the video game. Like the video game came out, and I remember it was an arcade in the basement at Cinderella City, the big mall, had a lower level, and there was a place called Cinder Alley that had an arcade in it.
I love it.
And we played it the first day it was there. Like, oh, we got a brand new game. It's actually a tie-in to a new Disney movie. And I was like, oh, cool. There are 4. And like, there was a guy from the company that put the machine into this arcade that was there, letting people play it for free and telling you, now you're gonna have 4 choices. You can do any of these 4 games, but you got to complete all 4 to get up to the next level. And
wow.
And yeah,
I can confirm Brian's good at Tron. We played a little bit in Vegas last year, and it's what you beat me in, right?
Yeah.
It's how I got kicked out of the competition.
I hear the spiders multiplying.
Yeah, do you hear that?
Right there.
Oh man, I love that game. Anyway, Tron this weekend, check it out. That is going to do it for us. If you're looking for TMS info, no matter what it might be, you can find it at frogpants.com/TMS. Let's play a song to get us out of here. What do you got?
Okay. Mike Couch, a.k.a. Sofa Leaper, says, hey, wanted to request something for my 10th birthday and 40th trip around the sun, as well as for any other leapers in the tadpole. Listening since the beginning, heard the show announced on Coverville. Oh, wow. So heard me talking about TMS on Coverville, and that it's not often that it comes the other way. Usually it's like, oh, I heard about Coverville because you talked about it on TMS.
Yeah.
So he wants something leapy. And he says that tender crisp bacon has talent, though.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. Tender crisp bacon,
tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch.
And then wait, the talent thing.
Talent, though, I think is the whatever happened to MC Hammer.
Oh, MC Hammer. Do I have that handy?
Oh, it has
been ages since I played that. All right, I'm gonna find it. Hammer. I gotta have it under Hammer. If it's not under Hammer,
it might be under Curry because it was an Adam Curry thing.
MC Hammer is certainly not a role model.
That's not it.
And what's MC Hammer doing?
There it is.
You know the guy's got talent.
I knew it was in there. What's he doing?
What's he doing?
What's he going? What's going on with him?
A lot of people lamenting the disappearance of MC Hammer.
Yeah.
All right. How about something leapy? Had very few options for Leap Day in my library. There were good covers, but this is a great cover of a great song. I'm a huge Billy Bragg fan, so this one kind of felt like a no-brainer to me. And this is another one that kind of begins one way, but then as the song goes in, it evolves into something different. It's not Jump Day, it's Leap Day.
Leap Day.
I could have 100 songs with Jump in the title, but this is Leap Day. So
it's Day of the Jumper, not Day of the Leaper. Okay, get it right.
The evil leaper, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a band called the Ghost Set with their cover of "Waiting for the Great Leap Forward," or as Billy Bragg says it, "Waiting for the Great Leap Forward." That's how he sings it. From the album Best of Modern Noise Volume 2, here is the Ghost Set.
Get more at frogpants.com.
Holy smokes!
Holy smokes.